It's the weekend. It's mailbag. We're recording on a Saturday morning here, so at the minute, it's just me and Keith. We're hoping that Matt Flusk and Peter Mack will turn up at some point. What do you reckon the odds are, Keith?
I reckon Peter Mack's more likely. I
Yeah,
reckon Flusco's had a heavy one, and he's not back in his schedule yet because he was up late on Thursday for the old crossing the box game.
yeah, yeah. You could be right. Actually, could be sleeping that off. Peter Mack generally sleeps through his alarm, so I'm expecting maybe 15, 20 minutes he could be on. But two-man mailbag.
We'll see
So,
what happens. We'll carry the show.
right, we'll kick off with a bit of politics then. Alex has asked, who's the player, past or present, most likely to vote Tory? Now, you replied to this with,
I mean, Lampard's the obvious answer, and he's not a
yeah,
player, but he is as Tory as it gets. Um, I thought about this, and I did think Fabian Delph might be one, but then he's a bit of a conspiracy theorist crackpot, so he's more likely to be reform, and he.
yeah. So, do you know what he would have been, right? He would have been like, I don't vote, I'm not voting, when Tories were the option. As soon as reform come in, he's bang
Oh,
into reform.
made up,
Yeah,
made up for it,
yeah.
yeah. Um, of the current squad, reckon Jack Harrison's a shy Tory.
He could be, couldn't he?
He's got a
Yeah,
Tory boy haircut, and he,
he has. He's far too overpreened.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
trust fund baby, isn't he?
100%. What's his accent all about as well?
I don't
Where's
know.
he
Is
from?
he actually from America? Like
I've no
lived in
idea. It's just,
America, or did he just play there for a little bit? I have no idea. I've never
it's
had the
weird, isn't it?
inclination to look into his background, to be honest. So,
We're not that interested in him, really, are we?
nah. If he learns to cross a ball or use his right foot, I'll be a lot more interested this season.
Yeah,
Um, I know it's going to annoy Dave, but it's a sensible pickup in it.
it was a sensible one.
It's a
You know, we
player
did
that
we
knows
didn't
the
pay us 10
system, and
million
it's
for him.
it's costing you fuck all, and it's warm bodies in the door, but it doesn't really get you excited, does it?
No, and also though, when you look at what that kid went from Leeds to Tottenham, did he for 30 odd million? I think
Or that what's his name?
they
RP
all seem
Gray,
like
that's
regens,
it.
don't they?
Yeah. Footy manager regions spot
Yeah.
on, yeah.
So getting him on loan, fair enough. I think. Oh, Peter Mack seen the message.
Peter Mack has seen the
He's seen
message.
the message. He could be on soon.
He's ringing the doorbell.
Still nothing. He's typing. This is exciting, isn't it? My things for this were Nick Barmby,
Yeah. Nailed on, Tory. Nailed on.
50%. Yeah.
He wants to bring back fox hunting and everything.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And Phil Neville.
Yeah, probably. Landlord family, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. So they're my two for that. But yeah, I think this squad, yeah, probably Jack Harrison. You watch, he'll come out as some like super socialist, like doing like food banks and soup
I'd be
kitchens and everything now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to change my opinion on him if he like does something decent. But until then, nah, shy Tory.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go with that. I like this from Liam. Other than Jordan Pickford, which player from the current squad would you like to see in Parliament?
I like that we're having to stipulate now that we're not allowed to use Jordan Pickford for the answers because he is the go-to answer for a lot of these. I think Seamus Coleman. I'd like to see Seamus Coleman win a seat for Sinn Féin but refuse to sit in Parliament.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah, be
I'd
fully
have
into that.
that. Um,
I was thinking Beto. I think he'd be like Jar Jar Binks in episode 3, just cutting about, causing chaos.
or a secret diplomatic mission to Tatooine.
Basically, yeah.
Sometimes he looks like he's from Tatooine the way he plays, just
Oh,
running about, bouncing off things. Absolute lummox.
he's another one I'm not really looking forward to seeing again next season.
No, again, I think it's a bit of a fresh slate this year, isn't it? Because like we've had 3 years now of we're doomed, we're down, we're gone,
Yeah.
and towards the end of last season, we got that sort of got it over the line early in comparison. And
Yeah.
the last few games were quite relaxing in the grand scheme of things. And I think maybe there's a bit of pressure off this year.
It feels like it, doesn't it? Or there should be.
Does it? I don't have the same sense of impending doom. I just feel like this is a nailed on mid-table banker. Season over by March.
Yeah,
Nobody cares.
yeah, and you
Thing.
know the recruitment early as well. So we
Yeah.
got that goateed fella in from Marseille, who looks like he's going to fill that Decore role. So we're not going to be reliant on Decore so much.
His accent's mad in it.
I've not had an interview with him. Is it?
It's proper like gangland Essex.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's like Amadou Onana's one.
That was mental.
Oh, just absolutely wrecked my head. That. You think about it, Lukaku was the same, wasn't he? He had a very sort of,
Yeah, he went Jack Harrison though, didn't he? He went a
yeah.
little bit. I think he went to LA once and then came back
He
speaking
went
like,
to LA with Pogba on
yeah,
like a preseason holiday, came back speaking like a Hollywood mogul.
like an extra on GTA. Another one for this. I was thinking Nathan Patterson. He's got Mahari Black vibes about him. I think Patterson.
Yeah,
He could be.
like a little sort of Mary Black type firebrand
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
the Tories to account.
yeah. I think he's definitely got that vibe about him. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
Flusk.
get the fullbacks in Parliament.
Yeah,
Not
definitely.
Ashley Young though.
Ashley Young as well.
Father of the house.
Could be a Tory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good shout. He does give the vibe.
I reckon. So Maggie, we're on Maggie's round though.
Oh God.
It's funny how
Maggie,
quickly it goes when there's two of you, isn't it?
it's Maggie's roundup.
There
Yeah.
is. So first one was Matt Flusk political soapbox, which unfortunately we're going to have to postpone for now. But when it does return, it will be a good one, I'm sure. Keith on Kia, an opinion?
Can't really say. I don't want to get the blue room taken off the air, you know. Um, I'm not sold on him. I haven't been since he became leader. Um, he's driven the party. People say centre left. I'd say the party is centre right now,
Oh, 100%,
given
yeah.
the policies. I don't think he's going to achieve anything in the next 5 years of any great note. And I think in 5 years' time, we're going to be battling the rise of the far right with the old frog fella and his band of cronies. So we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, another thing with that as well, Richard Tice is a stinking copite, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
Patient.
absolutely.
In his bio, he's got patient Liverpool fan. The fuck does that even mean?
Well, to be fair, he probably suffered through the Hodgson era.
Oh, he must have done, yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
20 minutes when they were out the top half of the table.
Yeah, that's what it
Um,
must be.
I will say, I will give him kudos for coming in and like within half an hour, he's already binned off that Rwanda nonsense.
Yeah, and the Simpson fella getting a gig.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
appointment as well.
We'll give credit where it's due and say well done on those things. But I think it's going to be a long 5 years for everybody.
Yeah, I reckon.
Um, See how we go.
I think Alexis Sale called it well. He said he's like hotel art made man, which I think was a nice summing up of him.
He
Pete,
is,
you
isn't
all
he?
right, mate?
He's a bowl of porridge.
Yes.
God, you got to Bramley real quick there, Pete.
Oh, I'll tell you. I do. Yeah. Sorry. I was a little bit delayed there, Les.
It's all right.
Basically what happened was I ended up staying up very late on Thursday night so that I could bask in the glory of seeing the Tories lose all the seats. So I've ended up having a bit of a sleep in today. I do apologise.
We think that's where it matters as well.
That's exactly what we said had happened to Matt. So
Yeah.
Who was your favourite one losing the seat then?
Oh, Moggy. Reese Mogg.
Yeah.
That
It was
picture.
brilliant.
That picture with the big beam mask.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, that was the last one before I finally went to sleep. It was. I wanted to stay up to see him lose the seat, and it was glorious. It was great.
Excellent.
It was like, I mean, I'm not really into, well, I say not into politics. I'm not someone who really gets really that much involved with it, but it was like the greatest transfer deadline day ever. It was amazing. It was just sat there watching it for about 6 hours. But yeah,
I
so
have to say, I took great pleasure in Mercer losing his.
Yeah,
He's
that was a good one.
hideous, and his wife's even worse.
Yeah,
And now they're both out of a job, which is excellent.
lovely stuff.
Did you see the video of them the day before the election? And there was some protesters in Plymouth with banners on the thing against him. And she went down, she like pulled over the car, stopped, and rang the busies,
Jesus.
saying that they're protesting against my husband. I'm not having it. Can you send someone down as quick as possible?
That's insane. Down with this sort of thing. So we've done a bit of politics bit. So we'll leave that. And we're on Maggie's round now. So, oh no, we'll come to that later. Oh, here we go. Name an outgoing MP you'd love to see absolutely slide tackled on Match of the Day. Name the MP you'd love to see doing the slide tackling.
I mean, it's the one doing the tackling's Jeremy Corbyn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even better, Diane Abbott, 2-footed through the back of the knee.
On who?
Who would be quite funny to see? Fabricant, and his wig falls off.
Oh God, yeah. Just send his wig flying. Like, do you remember when Martin Brolin had that bandage on his head, and the ball hit him, and his bandage just flew in the air like that, but with his wig? Yeah, defo. I had John Ashworth getting tackled by Keir Starmer. I think that'd be quite funny. Just because, like, John Ashworth, he's just a risible little weasel, and I'm glad he's gone. But yeah, I just want to see if Starmer can actually play football like he says he can.
Yeah,
and
Ghoulish as well. I'd love Starmer to go through that Ghoulish fella as well.
Oh, he's hideous, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd love to see him get 2-footed.
He's horrible.
Yeah.
Funny thing as well is Starmer basically did 2-foot Emily Thornberry, didn't he?
Yeah. Sold her soul for a place on the cabinet, and now she sat on the back benches.
Yeah. Good work. Any for this, Pete? Apart from Gullis, anyone else? That is a great shout, like. It was good to see him go.
Or just Rees-Mogg. I feel like he'd be one of those who tried to take a throw in like he was playing basketball, wouldn't he? He wouldn't know what he was doing at all.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have a clue what to do.
Can you imagine the yelp out of him as well?
Something?
Yeah, but you'd be able to like lull Rees-Mogg into like a false sense of security, like let him think that it was non-contact or something, and then absolutely just kick him into next week. I wouldn't even let one of the outgoing MPs do it. I'd do it myself.
The squeal would be fantastic as well.
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah.
As if
volume
he's sending
volume back to the 1800s.
He'll send one of his staff to play for him in his place anyway. When he's not going to get involved in physical exercise.
His wet nurse. Right. Well, Starmer is a big fat shite talk. This is Maggie again. Doesn't the world at least feel marginally better? It does. It definitely does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say marginally. It's quite depressing that I've waited for so long to see an end to these horrible bastards, and I just feel nothing really towards this lot that have come in.
It's a little bit like FA Cup final day when you've been knocked out in the semis. That's what election night kind of felt like a bit to me. I was interested.
I'm not topping that. That's a spot on analysis.
Oh, right. It's like there's just nothing there. You're interested, but
yeah,
really.
You'll stick it on in the background.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Not affect your life.
Yeah, but we'll see. As we said, there are some there's already been a couple of things that look good. So let's just hope. And Everton look all right as well. Like we said at the start, Pete, about the Toffees next season, and it feels like it's the first summer in years where the pressure's off a little bit, where we should go into this season like thinking, do you know what, we should be all right. We've got some signings in early. We finished comfortably last season. I think we might struggle to do as well as we did last season, which might sound a bit mad, but overall we had a pretty good season. I think we might struggle to do that again, get up to like 10th. But yeah, it does feel better, doesn't it, this summer?
It does. It does. It feels like the world is finally healing, which probably means that inevitably World War III will start kicking off.
Well, at least we'll be champions because that's the rule.
Well, exactly, yeah, exactly. So at least we'd have that few months of some kind of glory. So yeah, bring it on.
Warren's asked, what's the longest amount of time you've gone without sleep? Thursday, Pete?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
Made up for it last night though.
What time are you in bed? Did you go to bed at baby time? Was it still light out? But the kids still playing outside?
What do you mean, like when I finally went to sleep on Thursday night?
No, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Well, basically, so I had a free day yesterday, which was one of the reasons why I was able to stay up. But I didn't go to sleep till about 5 o'clock in the morning, and had to get up reasonably early. And then I'm trying to think what time I went to bed. About 11 o'clock, something like that. But I've slept all the way through.
Nice. That's all right.
Wasn't too bad. But yeah.
Keith, what's your biggest all-nighter?
I think, do you know what? I think mine's is probably, we're going back now about what? Bloody hell, when was it? Like 17 years. After my dad died, his funeral was on a Friday morning. The wake started about 1 o'clock on the Friday afternoon, and I didn't come home till Monday morning.
Jesus.
I had little pub naps in between, so I don't know if they count or not, but yeah, that was a fair old one. All I will say is a Scottish funeral. If you can ever go to a Scottish funeral, obviously it's for a sad occasion, but you'll never see a drinking session like it.
Yeah.
It's feral.
I mean, that's the thing about funerals, isn't it? They're horrible, but the session afterwards is unparalleled.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Everyone just proper goes for it.
So yeah, there you go.
What was it, up in Dundee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolute, and it was well, no, it wasn't. I tell I ignore that. I was gonna say it was when we beat Sunderland 7-1, but it wasn't. That was the day he actually died.
All right.
So I was living down in the south of England at the time, down in Hampshire, and I got the call off my mum on the Saturday morning to say, like, you need to come back home now. So drove up the road, and I had the footy on the radio, listening to the goals going in and that, and then we sat and watched Match of the Day. So like, I sat in his room with him that night and watched Match of the Day with him, and he was like beyond it at this point. But he was like, every time a goal went in, he just gave me hand a little squeeze. I thought that's a hell of a see off from the Toffs.
Yeah.
Better than a 1-0 defeat to Burnley at home, innit?
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that's nearly seen me off a few times.
Well, last on that Match of the Day again, Dad. Fucking hell, there we go. The one that springs to mind for me is missing the bus to Lille. So yeah, me and my dad went to London. We were up on the Isle all day and basically couldn't find our bus at Victoria Station. Missed it. So I had a night homeless in London. Basically, just wandering around. We were in King's Cross Mackey's at like 3 a.m. And it's a weird place. So it's an all-night Mackey's, but it's like anyone who's got nowhere to go just goes in there. So there's people just sat around everywhere, not ordering anything. There was a fella sat next to me, scribbling frantically on the napkins and talking to some lad opposite him. And I was trying to sleep, and I was looking, I was thinking, what is this place? And it was mad. And it was, if not the longest amount of time I've gone without sleep, it was certainly the most unsettling.
It's probably the best city, like certainly in Britain, to be stuck in if you're like up all night in it. Because there's always going to be something open. Can you imagine trying to do that in like Plymouth or Carlisle?
Gotcha. It wasn't warm either.
I've got a London related story. It was London/Everton one, and it was when we went to Atalanta. Went to Atalanta away. We had to get so this is back when I used to drink. So we had to get the train down from Lime Street to Euston or whatever it was. And then we had to then wait for a coach to go from, like a minibus thing to take us to the airport. And then we had to get to the airport and then wait in the airport overnight to then get the plane over to Milan in the morning. And basically, yeah, it was bizarre because obviously, like, we were drinking, so I'd started bevying at like 10 a.m. or something the day before. And because of like the price of the trains, you don't like get like the most convenient one, do you? You just get like the train that's the cheapest.
Yeah.
So we ended up just like out all day. And I remember getting to the airport. Obviously, everywhere was closed. We couldn't even check in or any. Or we couldn't actually go through to security or anything. So we had to wait up in the airport up until it actually opened, and I was absolutely scalloped. And then I remember I remember us getting through security, and our flight wasn't till about 10 o'clock in the morning anyway. So we had like a load of time to wait. So I ended up just falling asleep in the airport, and it was the most weird, like most bizarre thing ever. We were literally the first ones through security, so the airport was empty. So I fell asleep and it was quiet. And I woke up and it was like this really weird feeling of not knowing where I was, but just noise everywhere. And then
That's
I
horrible.
woke up and I was in the middle of like a massively busy airport with like my feet up on the chairs. Every seat was getting like sat on apart from the ones that I'd made a bed out of. And it was I
Jesus.
didn't have a clue where anyone was, didn't know what day it was, thought I'd missed my flight. And then yeah, it was yeah.
That's
That was a pretty heavy one.
that's got to be next level beer for you, that. Jesus.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But yeah, we got there eventually. Like,
It wasn't worth it, but
oh
I,
no, it
I
really
imagine
wasn't.
I
It
imagine it was a
really
great
wasn't.
trip, shit game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so we ended up flying to Milan, and then we had to get a coach from the airport to the train station. Lovely train station in Milan, by the way. And then we had to get the train to whatever it was, to some weird name. Can't remember the name of the place now. But our hotel was right next to the stadium as well. And that was, I think I've told you this before, because that was when Chris Sutton was in the same hotel as
Oh,
us.
yeah.
And yeah, and his hatred of Everton began because everyone decided to put loads of drinks on his bar tab.
Tremendous work, that. So that's where it comes from. When
I
people are
think so,
listening to
yeah.
Five Live saying, "The fuck's Chris Sutton gone against Everton? What's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
about?" It's Atalanta.
Yeah, basically. But
Bang
what
into
it was is that apparently we were all getting told that apparently during the match, because he was on co-coms, he was actually like sticking the boot in. And to be fair, in retrospect, he was probably right, because we'd gone
Oh,
out and signed these players and we were crap. But
yeah.
yeah, but like word filtered back to everyone that Chris Sutton had been a bit of a prick. So when he rocks up in the hotel bar and happens to mention his room number and his tab number, he made a massive mistake.
I like the fact as well that the bar staff in the hotel must have played along with this. If everyone's putting drinks on someone else's tab, the bar staff know. They're just going with it, aren't they? I like that.
He was probably a prick to one of the staff, wasn't he? And they've just gone right.
Yeah.
Right, you're getting it.
Yeah, here we go, bollocks. Speaking of which, what's the greatest revenge you've had on someone who wronged you? This is from Sam. My one for this, I was trying to think of like anything that had happened and I couldn't. So the best one I could think of was with kids footy, and we
2 foot of the kid.
yeah, oh god, I've wanted to do that several times. No, we were playing Greasby in semi-final, and it was like a load of the lads all went to the same school from both teams, so it was like a bit of a grudge match. It was a bit fiery, but inexplicably, a few of my players just stopped, like just forgot how to play football at like key moments in the game. So we were a much better team, but we drew 3-3, and then they put us out on penalties, and it was a proper sickener. But then the season after, we did the double and beat them 8-0 in the final. So that was a nice revenge story. We absolutely wiped the floor with them. But yeah, that was probably the only one I could think of.
I like that.
That was like Karate Kid. That was
It's a
like
bit.
your Karate Kid moment.
And the lad who missed the penalty for us, he was an absolutely outstanding player. Plays for Asheville now in the West Cheshire League. He missed the penalty and he used to play for them. And he missed our penalty. And he was unbelievable striker. He could hit it from anywhere. His movements and everything was brilliant. But he just fucked this penalty. So that was like the story there. Former player for them misses the penalty for us and we go out.
Did he play the next year?
Oh yeah, he played the next year. Yeah, just ran.
Did he bang?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that was his Rocky moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, it was great. Lovely sunny day in West Kirby. It was in Greasby, actually. It was good. That final.
Did you give it loads at even at 8-0 when it? Well, I got 7-0 when the 8th went in. Did you still give it loads?
Well, the 8th one, and it turned out to be the last goal that like our Hoylake team ever scored. Jay actually scored it. So, and we've got it on video as well. It's amazing.
That'll be a quiz question in years to come.
Oh, it's gonna be, yeah.
The only thing I can think of that comes to mind for this, can't really want for revenge. I just like live my life happily enough and whatnot. The only one I can think of is a few years back. I was on the road with work, and I was on the M42 in between, sort of shuttling in between getting down to the M40 from the M6, and I was sat in the outside lane, and I was overtaking like constantly. It was quite busy, and there was this fella sat right up my arse, like literally touching distance from the
BMW, Audi.
One of them, probably.
Yeah.
I can't think what he was driving. Give it flashing the lights, giving it the gestures, honking the horn and everything. And I'm like, mate, I'm overtaking. You can fuck off. You can wait. And I thought about it like really sort of. I'm gonna play this clever, and my Google Maps tells me when there's a speed camera coming up. So I timed, like I still could have stayed out overtaking, but I thought, no, do you know what? I'm gonna pull in. So I pulled into like a busy bit of the traffic to let him pass. He goes, boom, shooting past, giving it the fingers out the window and everything. Literally like 500 yards in front, goes through the speed camera. I'm like, get in.
That's
So
amazing.
Little bit of petty revenge. So I hope he enjoyed his speed awareness course. Because he must have been going about 95 by the time he'd actually got through it.
See, it's all
I'd love to see the photo. You know, the photo as he's going through, just really pissed off.
The realization.
Still doing this.
That's it. You had to get the timing spot on there, though, didn't you? So he'd just be like picking up maximum speed as he hits the camera.
Yeah, let him just hit his peak sort of aggressive acceleration.
Amazing. Yeah. Any revenge stories?
I live my life by turning the other cheek. Don't think. Yeah. Although I'd love to say that I managed to trap an angry driver into a speed trap, but I don't think I can top that, to be honest with you.
No, it's that is a belter. Namaste. Definitely. Chris. Oh, hang on. I said, if you have to choose one celebrity Everton supporter to take a penalty for your life, they score, you live. They miss, you die. Heavy stakes here. Who would you choose? Mr. Testicles is off the table for Dave.
Oh.
So.
Tommy Fleetwood.
That's a good shout.
Come up clutch in the Ryder Cup, so you know he's got balls of steel. He'll step up and stick it away. And you can just picture him as well, running away like Batistuta with the flowing locks behind him.
Yeah, that is a good shot. Yeah, he wouldn't flap it, would he?
Nah.
No.
I was thinking Sylvester Stallone with just a massive toey. But it's 50-50. He could die on a wrestle, couldn't he?
Yeah. He'd probably be in goal at the time.
Oh, this is true.
Given his
escape to victory
exploits. So you leave yourself exposed at the back if he's coming up.
I've basically put an American goalkeeper on my penalty here, haven't I?
Yeah.
That's a terrible move. I'm a goner. I'm done. I'm toast, lads. Pete?
I mean, I'm trying to think of someone who could actually take a penalty. I suppose it would depend on where I'm at at the time. Because I might, depending on how the world is, I might not mind them missing.
Give it Onana.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of celebrity blues, to be honest with you.
So,
I mean, talking about like being able to take a bit of pressure, Bell, you could probably take a pen, I reckon. Although, I don't. Yeah, come on.
He'd tell you as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, but I feel like he probably knocked the keeper out if he tried to save it. So yeah,
You reckon
probably
he'd
no
give it the
value.
Cahill celebration afterwards? And
Yeah, yeah. But as I say, it depends on where we're at in the world at the time. I might not mind him missing.
I reckon Andy Burnham would slot a pen.
Burn him,
Yeah.
yeah.
I reckon
You reckon?
he'd be one of those that steps up, gives the keeper the eyes, and sends him the wrong way.
Yeah, while looking straight at him.
Yeah,
Like a no-look penalty.
no look pen into the bottom corner, and then just walks back to halfway. Doesn't give it the fist to the crowd, or it just strolls back.
Yeah.
Just on penalties, right? Did you see Ronaldo's last night in the shootout?
Yeah.
Why did he stop?
He stopped twice.
He stopped. Like it wasn't a stutter. He actually stopped. I thought they weren't allowed to do that.
Yeah, they're not meant to. Should have been
I
retaken.
thought, have they not changed that then? Because I've noticed them. That's happened a couple of times now. But that Ronaldo one in particular was like that took the piss. That
Yeah,
I think they should just outlaw the whole thing and just say, look, just stop being a tit and run up properly.
yeah.
Oh, I was watching. There was a thing on the telly. I think it was last Saturday or Sunday morning. It was a Blue Peter football skills thing, which it was as bad as it sounds. And it was some fella teaching kids skills, right? And yeah, it was the usual stuff like the chop, the Cruyff turn, all that kind of stuff. Nice stuff in a game. The final skill he taught them was that fucking Jorginho penalty run up, the skip before you take a penalty. I was furious. It's like, why are you teaching kids that shit? That's not even how to take a penalty.
Jordan Pickford had no time for it.
Yeah.
He did, as he proved. If it goes to penalty tonight, by the way, England, I want to see him on spot kicks.
No, he's got to take one.
Got to.
100%. If Jordan Pickford would have taken one of our penalties, like if Pickford, I've always been adamant. You mentioned Onana before. Pickford should have taken that penalty.
Yeah,
100%.
He'd have just bladdered it into the top corner.
Yeah.
Back to Maggie's round again. There we go.
Yeah.
Got 2 rounds this week. Keith, favourite car park?
Try not to think about them when I'm not working. I get enough of them Monday to Friday. Favorite car park? I don't think there's any really nice ones. Like we've got a contract at the moment for a heritage organization, shall we say. I don't want to name them out loud, but they look after some like areas of outstanding natural beauty, shall we say.
Yeah.
And some of theirs are pretty special. Like some of the ones down in Cornwall, you park up and you just sit there and you go, nice this. But the problem is they've got us surveying them starting next week. So it's the middle of summer. They're going to be absolutely chocker. And I'm just going to have like little crotch goblins running around with ice creams and that in the way. And I'm like, move, I'm trying to take some photos here. You don't want to take photos with kids running across it because that's when the authorities get involved. So it's it makes my working life a lot more difficult. But yeah, some of theirs are quite pretty, I would say.
Yeah. I tell you what I don't like. I don't like the Liverpool 1 car park because the way your tires squeak on the floor, it's horrible.
Yeah, I'll tell you another one like that is Central Village up the top end, near just off Bold Street, and it's another one of the multi-story ones. But one thing I do like about it, if you go right up to the top, you get an absolutely belting view of the cathedrals and the bombed out church.
Oh, nice.
And the tower and everything, especially like at night when it's dark and it's all lit up. It's quite nice up there.
So if you go in there, go top floor.
Yeah.
Liverpool 1 car park though is the most ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing ever because you've got way out and you've got exit, and it's like, well, do you know what I mean? Like the way they've signposted actually have to leave the place. It's like being an IKEA. There's no way of actually leaving the place. You pay to leave, and then by the time you actually manage to get out, you've got to pay again. It's just a nightmare.
I know exactly what you mean. And me with car parks, I can never remember where I've parked anyway. So it's just a bloody nightmare. Everything's a nightmare for me.
It's a queue park, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a nightmare. Never park in a queue park.
There you go. Good advice.
Yep.
Get it all on it.
From a man who knows.
Yeah. One for me, Style Council. What trabs are in? What trabs are out? Out. Adidas Campus 80s. So Adidas have somehow managed to ruin what is an absolutely classic shoe, the Campus. They've made it like this skater version with fat laces, and it's horrible. Yeah, it's crap. 110s as well. 110s are always out. I was in the gym this morning, and there was a fella in there, and he's probably about my age, maybe a little bit older. Full England kit, brand spanking new 110s, including football socks and the shirt tucked in. It was odd. He's one of these busy fuckers as well, who's always sort of into everyone's business as he's walking around and stuff. Very, very strange.
But the DH Gate 110s or like the proper ones?
I couldn't tell. I reckon he's gone all in on official gear. Yeah. Yeah, it was very the tucking in. The football
tucking in is a bit bad. Yeah.
Tucking in was like, all right. Okay.
Did he have the football socks like up as well?
No, they were like scrunched down.
So he was being cool then, wasn't he?
Didn't have his shinies on.
He didn't have his shinies on, though.
Should have two-footed him.
And trainies that it in for me, Novastar, which are Slovakian pumps, which makes me sound like a massive hipster twat, but they are very good and reasonably priced footwear. Yeah, so get your Novastar Slovakian pumps in. Peter Mac, top 5 baldies.
Does Sean Dyche count as a baldy? Because I don't think he is bald, is he?
This is the thing. I'm not sure, because have you seen that episode of Seinfeld where Elaine dates a swimmer and she thinks he's bald, but he shaves his head because he's a swimmer? And George is obviously furious about this because he is actually bald. And he's like, well, why would anyone choose to be bald? It's like, I think he should. What's that?
Scott Brown.
Yeah, yeah. He does, doesn't he?
Skirtle used to play for the Shite. Yeah. He's got like a full head of hair now.
Yeah. So is Dyche bald? Because he could be at the back, couldn't he? So he's just taking it off. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I've got to have Tommy Gravison in there. Got to have Lee Carsley, Tommy Gravison.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because you don't really get too many bald football players now anyway, do you? Andy Johnson was one.
Andy Johnson, yeah.
Yeah. Favourite baldies. I'm trying to think. Jason Statham. He's got to be up there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's just,
He works it, doesn't
he? Jason Statham, when you've got to appreciate the man's range. He can do all of the emotional stuff. He can do the Oscar-worthy performances, or he can. Do you know what though?
Statham with hair wouldn't be able to do any of that.
No,
he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be able to. I mean, have you seen Mean Machine when he's the goalkeeper in Mean Machine?
That's film.
Yeah, it's brilliant though, isn't it? But yeah, Statham and Mean Machine. I feel like anyone that wants a goalkeeper, that's the way I always used to think of Tim Howard, or actually no, probably Jordan Pickford now, where I feel like the little things where the goalkeeper would, when he would like imagine stuff going on, and he'd like two-foot people, like kick people in the head or slam them by the throat. I feel, and then he'd calmly go and pick the ball up. I feel like that's what Jordan Pickford does.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we're saying, Lee Carsley, Tommy Gravison, Andy Johnson, Sean Dyche, questionably, and Jason Statham.
Good 5.
Good
list. A good 5.
Shout out to our very own Rob Vera as well.
We're going to have the baldest Barclays ever next season, aren't we?
Oh, so many bald managers.
Arnie Slot is the baldest of the lot.
100%. I'm going to have to grow my hair back.
Get yourself to Turkey. There's still time.
I've said this before. Again, Cenk Tosun. How did Cenk Tosun, of all people in the world, how did he have such bad hair when he was from Turkey? Literally, like, go and just next time you're on international duty, just go and get it sorted. Why are you having it out of a bottle? Anyway,
I reckon it's like that thing, though, isn't it? Where like people get a kidney transplant and the body rejects it. I think that's what's happened with him, but with his hair. His head just rejected the hair.
Yeah, that's got to be the only reason.
Shredded wheat head.
So bad. It was it was when you'd see the pictures in the training ground, and he'd have like a proper fryer tuck, and then by match day he'd just have this thing on his head, just this like an aura on the top of his head. It wasn't even hair, was it? Mad.
Aura.
Absolutely. Oh, nuts. Oh, alternative one here, Pete. Five favorite things about Walton Hall Park.
5 favorite things about Walton Hall Park.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to say. So obviously the fans, the atmosphere, because they're 2 separate things. Because the people are great, the atmosphere is boss. The stewards are all fantastic, great people. It's all about the people, really. Walton Hall Park. It's such a family. It's like a proper, friendly environment. I love the fact that we've got a roof above us, but the away fans don't. So they sort of, so if, especially when it's absolutely lashing down and it's really windy and horrible, and you get a group of away fans giving you a bit of grief, it's great because they're getting.
Whereabouts are they in the ground?
So they go behind
the goal
where we, by the goal. So where we put our flags up, which is quite funny as well, because they always kick off about us putting our flags up where they have to stand, and it's like, well, we put them every week. So that's but yeah, mainly the people is what makes Walton Hall Park. And also, I've got to say, Aurora Ghali, Yaya Ghali is one of the funniest people alive. For anyone who hasn't seen, some of the content from Everton Women, have a look for Aurora Ghali because she's absolutely hilarious. But I'm just waiting on confirmation that she's signed a new contract because she's out of contract this summer, and I think we're all panicking in case she doesn't sign. So I really hope she stays. But I can recommend going to have a look at some of the content on the Everton Women page and find anything with Yaya Ghali in it.
Yeah. Has there been any mutterings that she might be going anywhere, or any clubs like sniffing around, or?
I mean, to be honest, this time of year, it's funny in the women's game because a lot of the contracts are only short term. So you kind of get this every summer. You end up getting this type of thing where a load of players leave. But she's one of the ones. She was our supporters' good player of the season last season as well.
Yeah, so I remember you talking about it last season.
Yeah, we were kind of trying to like guilt trip her into staying for an extra couple of years. To be honest with you, as well, she was brilliant, but we wanted to make a fuss of her. So yeah, I'm really hoping she signs. Put it that way.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Last one from Maggie. In honour of us still not having a decent summer, what's the best lolly ice to eat indoors?
Soleros. Always a Solero.
Solero's a great shout. I was going to go White Magnum.
Good for a hangover. If you've got a hangover, Soleros will sort you right out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Never tried that. Like it. Pete?
Like a Calippo type thing. I mean, a lolly ice is a very specific thing. You just said Magnum, that's an ice cream, that. You can't call that a lolly ice, can you? Surely.
Fair tackle. Yeah, all right.
It's the same family, isn't it? It's like calling Watsits crisps. They're technically not the maize-based snacks, but
you can get away with it.
When someone says, "What have you had to eat?" you say, "A bag of crisps."
Yeah.
So it's the same ballpark.
Yeah, I suppose that comes like that. Play when you do your top 5 crisps. You can't start including maize-based snacks, really.
Yeah, no. When you get that technical, but when we're at this level, I'm finishing off Maggie's roundup.
Yeah. I saw something the other day talking about maize-based crisps. Did you know that the Pringles don't have any potato in them?
Yeah. Yes, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just made of hemp and spice.
Seen a tweet a while back, and it was like somebody had said, just seen somebody walking down the road eating Pringles and blew my mind. Those are an indoor crisp.
That is a fair shout.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the little box, you can't be walking about eating out of that.
No. You'd be ridiculed. You'd be chased out of town.
And fairly so as well.
Yeah.
Too right.
Yeah. All right, if I'm gonna go like proper lolly ice. Always been a fan of a Fab.
Yeah. A Twister as well. Twister. I think I'd go for a Twister. Love Twisters.
We've got a load of Twisters in. Have they always done them like in alternate colours? I'm sure they haven't. It was always green and yellow because
Green
they've got
and
ones
yellow,
that are
yeah.
like purple and yellow with green on the inside, I think.
Oh, bloody woke nonsense.
Oh, it is woke nonsense. I'm telling you, world's gone mad. Reform will sort this out. Bring back our proper Swifters. Right, we're going to finish on the hot topic because we've got loads of answers in for this. Obviously, it hit a nerve with people. The worst defeat you've ever witnessed.
Oh, God.
Obviously, there's been a lot over the years, so I'll just read some of these out. Liam said McAllister. Fair. Paul said Millwall at Anfield against Liverpool reserves, truly abysmal. I was on the front row of the Annie Road for that. Christ, it was bad. Andy loads over the years, but 1-4 Newcastle defeat in 22 was the most painful recent one. It seemed as we were incapable of playing basic football. That was bad. Mike said 5-1 against Norwich. And why do our worst defeats always include last-minute breakaway goals scored at the Park End in the rain, e.g. West Ham last season and Watford 5-2? I could go on. Watford 5-2 is one of mine. That was horrific.
I still haven't seen Watford's last 3 goals.
You never watched them, have you?
I got off when they equalised because I knew what was coming. Just one of those days where they equalised and there was like 20 minutes left when they equalised.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's only going one way. And I was walking down Bullen's Road and I heard them score the third.
Do you know what? I can't recommend watching them because objectively they are very funny goals. Like the defending, I'd call it hapless. I think that's the word for it.
Was that Josh King when he scored the hat trick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like bits where I think Tom Davis and Michael Keane run into each other and there's all sorts of caper going on. You could soundtrack it with like that clown music and it'd fit perfectly. Which incidentally, do you know that clown music that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That was initially a military tune for an army.
And the clown stole it.
But slowed down. Yeah. So that's actually a military anthem.
Wow. There you go. Every day school day.
Another one for the quiz.
Was it like is it like because it ended up being a really crap military, like really crap army, and that's why they use it as like a piss take?
Maybe it was. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, sort of like the gun jam, so they look at it and blow the face off, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gary, the worst defeat could be. Oh, there could be hundreds. West Brom 4-0, sober on a cold November night, and Villa 4-0 on Boxing Day were both bad ones. Frank, oh God, this is etched in Frank's mind and he can't get rid of it. 6th of November 1982 at Goodison, Everton 0, the Shite 5. The date and everything is just etched. Oh, Frank, I feel for you, man. John, Everton 0-4 Bolton. Bolton managed by Sam Allardyce, bullied all day by Kevin Davis. That was horrific. Pog not happened yet, but Mope attempted to win some Everton fan support. Hopefully he's told to stay away from Finch Farm. And Matty, I wasn't there and it probably wasn't the most heartbreaking, but losing 5-2 in the second leg to Dynamo Kiev in 15 was awful. We had beaten great sides. Yeah, that was bad as well. That Europe campaign. Oh, a couple more. DPE, champion in the cup. Horrible. Yep.
Yeah.
Yags D, the 4-0 at Anfield when it could have easily been 7-8-9. Horrible. And Andrew 5-0 to them. Cup defeats to Tranmere and Wigan both hurt. That's a pretty comprehensive list, isn't
it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of Burnley away a couple of seasons ago was bad. That was when I thought that was the night when I thought we were going to go down.
I was on a train back from London and missed the whole thing.
Oh.
So I was getting like text messages from my dad, but they weren't coming through. So I was all over the shop.
Yeah. Oh, the revenge. I suppose the revenge probably comes from that then for me. You know, I was saying I don't really like revenge.
Yeah.
But it was. I remember the Burnley fans going past them coaches at the end. They were horrible. They were proper. I mean, fair play to them. We probably would have been the same, but they were proper arseholes. Like, and the way they'd done it was they'd sort of obviously like where you have the side of the coach where the door is. That was kind of like blocked off. But then the other side of the coach was like the main road. So we were sort of, there was no, well, I didn't see any kind of trouble, if you like, outside the coaches because we were kind of a little bit blocked off. But then getting onto the coach, they were just giving it loads. There was fireworks going off and everything. And they were just absolutely, just really sticking the knife, sticking the boot in. So yeah, probably the revenge was from afar when I was absolutely delighted that we ended up sending them down. So
it's funny. It's funny that, isn't it? Within like 6 weeks, they'd lost the manager and been relegated.
Yeah,
incredible. Yeah.
Mad. It was mad. But again, it was their stupid mistake, because if they would have kept Sean Dyche, I don't care how bad the results had been. I genuinely think he would have kept them up, just because that's what he does. But
it feels like it, doesn't it?
I remember Spurs away as well. Another one was Spurs away when we played them at Wembley. I think it was when they were getting the ground redeveloped.
The 4-0.
That was Allardyce, and we got beat 4-0.
Yeah,
we didn't have a single shot on target. And afterwards, in his interview, he came out and said, "I think our problem today was we tried to be too attacking."
Yeah.
Was that the game where he said we drew the second half as well?
Yeah.
Because it was 4-0 at half time, wasn't it? Or was that a hide we got at Arsenal?
I think that was the Arsenal one, wasn't it? It was 5-1, yeah.
It's a proper Sunday League shout, that, innit?
Yeah.
Just get out and win the second half. But we're 9-0 down.
0-0 second half.
0-0, start again. I lean towards that one, the cup game at Anfield under Ancelotti, when they're under 16s beat us. Mostly because I was sober, because I was driving over for it, and it was just hideous. And a pigeon died at my feet.
I'm not saying this.
0-0. A pigeon died at my feet, and I had to help take it outside. And that was the highlight of my day.
I mean, that's a bad sign. That's bad juju, that, isn't it?
But I think I'm going to lean in a slightly different direction, and I'm going to go for Palace away in the cup under Lampard. Because it was at 12 o'clock on a Sunday morning. We'd been out the night before for Jack Carlisle's 30th. Me and Flusco had a combined 20 minutes of sleep. We turned up on Duke Street to get the coach at 5. It didn't turn up until 6. It was freezing. It was miserable. Flusco was still hammered, so he's bouncing about like Paddington Bear, and I'm rocking a hangover that could kill a small donkey. And, the coach was antiquated. It was this thing was from the 70s. You hit the seat and dust comes out, sort of thing. There was no toilet on board.
Proper coach.
The driver had never done a football away before, so he didn't know you had to stop and stash the ale before the busies come on. And we got beat 4-0, and we had to come back. And then when we got back, we went to Denby for a couple afterwards. Me, Flusco, Matt, and Mose. And then I tried to get the train back over to the Pleasure Peninsula, and Merseyrail wouldn't let me on because I was too drunk. So it was just, all in all, it was just a hideous day.
That's horrendous, that.
Tried to get on at Moorfields, and they wouldn't let me on. I was like, right, fuck it. Walked out, and I thought, right, I know what I'll do. I'll buzz down to James Street. I'll get on at James Street. Got to James Street, and they fucking radioed ahead, hadn't they?
The bastards.
Radioed ahead. So they wouldn't let me in. So I power marched up to Central. They hadn't thought to radio Central. Gave it the best. I'm sober. I'm very sober. I know my name, my date of birth. I'm okay. Started reeling off my date of birth to the ticket checkers without even being asked. And managed to get back. That was hideous.
Yeah, that is great. I don't think that's going to be topped. Really, I think the fact that you got the train back though, that's like another revenge story. That.
Yeah, and that's Lampard's interview afterwards, where he was giving it go see the bad goal, another rubbish goal.
Yeah,
goal from set piece, another stupid goal. Could have been a draw with that.
I mean,
sure,
that probably should have been the writing on the wall for him, shouldn't it?
Should have been, yeah.
Really.
Mad that they waited until we'd been beaten by Bournemouth twice in a week.
Yeah.
And then some.
And then some, yeah. He got away with that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He lasted another 6 weeks, didn't he? He lasted the whole World Cup, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had the ideal opportunity as well. Because he got
to have his jolly in Australia, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He got the cup game, and then he got booted about a week later against West Ham, wasn't he?
West Ham, yeah, I think it was.
Christ.
Hideous.
Tell you what,
West Ham though, I remember he'd look like a rabbit in the headlights, didn't he? Like we'd fully broken him. We'd fully Everton them. Like,
how many times have we seen a manager with that expression in the last 6 years?
yeah.
Marco Silva.
Oh, poor
He was the
fella.
most haunted, wasn't he?
He
Yeah.
looks haunted on the touchline. We made Roberto Martinez bald.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
The
you
only
look
one
at
who
that,
survived it. The only one who survived it was Carlo, wasn't he? He just wasn't. He was like so cool. He just
yeah.
yeah. He got out before he saw where it was going, and he thought, yeah, Real Madrid sounds like a good prospect right now.
I think he's the only manager who actually looked younger when he left than when he joined.
Yeah.
Just had a great time, didn't he, for 18 months, cutting about on Crosby Beach with his dogs.
Yeah.
What a guy. Right, that's it for this week's mailbag, lads.
Nice one.
It's been a pleasure. There's still no word from Matt Fluss, so
if you see him, tell him to phone us and let us know he's all right.
Yeah, just let it ring twice. Well, and just let us know. That's fine. Yeah. So cheers, Keith. Cheers, Pete. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in. We will catch you next time on Mailbag.